Okay, Michelle, I know you've been to the Ballard Design Store before, but I'm so excited to be here with you because I loved seeing your client's home and how skilled you are mixing color and pattern. That really makes me want to see your process and how you pull all these fabulous spaces together. I'm just going to learn so much and absorb everything that you show me.
The hot mess I referred to earlier?
Yes,
yeah. Okay.
Your hot
Great.
mess. Yeah.
Awesome.
We have a question from a viewer. Thought we could answer her question.
Okay.
And really kind of show her how you have, combined color and pattern so that she can do the same.
Okay.
Okay, this question comes from Brandy, and
Okay.
she says, in recent years, I started to embrace a more neutral palette, but now I feel like my home is feeling a bit too quiet, almost drab. Now I'm almost fearful of color, and my main living space feels a little tired. I'm looking to make a bold change. Help.
I think the way I would probably approach this room, luckily she has neutral pieces, which is great. So, to kind of ease into color if it's not something that you're comfortable with naturally.
Right.
A great way is to add pops of color. You can do that by, doing some punchy pillows. You can, instead of painting your walls, put a pop of color on the ceiling. You could add some, textured wallpaper like a grass cloth. That's a great way to bring color into a space without fully committing.
Yeah, and it's less yardage for your wallpaper,
right.
So not as much of a budgetary commitment either.
And I think that gives you color and texture, which I think would really warm this space up considerably.
Okay, you mentioned wallpaper.
I
did
I love wallpaper.
I know you do,
Yeah.
and you make me love wallpaper because I can even picture that amazing entryway at your client's house. I did pull some wallpaper.
Let me see. Big reveal.
I know.
Oh my gosh, I love all these. Okay, I mean, these are all amazing. So colorful. I love all the big, bold pattern. As much as I love all of these papers because they're really happy and fun, I typically don't put papers in a family room. I think dining rooms are a great spot, powder rooms are a great spot, accent walls in bedrooms are a great way to bring in paper and pattern and color. But this to me feels a little strong for that space.
Okay.
So I'd probably lean more in this direction.
Okay.
I love this grass cloth, either for on the walls or just on the ceiling.
Yeah, those are great. And they have a little bit of a sheen to them.
They do,
when
just
you're up
naturally.
close.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do. I'm thinking maybe the green.
Green. Okay. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
Even just these little little fibers, it is so much more interesting than just a solid wall color,
Absolutely. Yeah, it adds some depth. And I think this would really, breathe some new life into Brandy's family room.
If she puts this wallpaper on her ceiling, then what kind of wall color should she do? I mean, we've got our fan deck right here.
Okay.
So
I would use probably a warm white. So she
okay.
could paint her trim a color that's very close to this, either darker or lighter.
Okay.
And then do the same thing with her walls. And because you're using different sheens of paint on your trim and on your walls, it's a real subtle change. But I think that could be a really great idea for her, and it would complement this texture if she put that on her ceiling.
So I'm imagining it. She's added some wallpaper to her ceiling. What's next?
So next I would probably start with the rug. If we did the color on the ceiling, if we decided to do color on the wall, I would probably do a neutral rug. And then some pillows that had some pops of color that brought those colors back in. So if I do a neutral rug, I like to have a pattern in it just because I think it just adds a little bit of depth to the space.
Why don't we shop around?
Okay,
And
great.
we can pull other things for Brandy's rooms that would work.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay,
let's do
let's
it.
go see.
Okay. Oh my God, that's the rug.
Yeah.
This is what I would recommend. So I love that this is really neutral, but it has a little bit of pattern to it.
Yes.
And to me, it's a real classic pattern because animal prints never go out of style. And rugs are an investment, so I think it's important when you buy a rug to do something that can stand the test of time.
Smart.
So you're not having to replace it all the time.
I also love this rug because it's, like you said, it's a pattern, but it's subtle, but it's also unexpected. It feels very spicy a little bit. As spicy as a neutral rug can be, right?
Yes, exactly.
The antelope is just, it's fun.
You can't go wrong with antelope.
Yeah.
It's a great starting point.
Okay, well, what should we pull next? Should we look for pillows?
I think let's start with drapery.
Drapery, okay. Let's go look at the drapery wall.
Great.
Let's go see what you like.
Yes. You guys have quite a selection over here. Who knew?
So we've got all of these.
Yeah. I'm thinking probably again because Brandy is a little bit nervous about color since we have such strong walls. I think we should do something that is kind of neutral as a curtain, but maybe has like a nice kind of band down the side that has a little bit of color. Something like this, because I think that this blue with the green, that's really pretty, don't you think?
Yes, I love those together.
It works beautifully together.
Yeah,
so there's a brightness to it. It'll kind of, pop off this green grass cloth. And then it has a hint of this blue. It's a nice pattern. It looks like it's probably a heavy cotton, which I think will wear well.
It's lined.
It's lined, which is nice, so that'll protect it when the sun comes through. It won't start to deteriorate over time, which is really important. And I really love this embroidery. I think that's really, really nice. I think it just makes a drapery feel more elevated when there's embroidery on it.
Sure.
So I think this would be a really good choice for her.
Okay, so you know what we can do? We can just take the swatch with us.
Love it.
And then we can go pick out some
fun pillows.
Yeah,
let's do that.
Okay, now pillows.
Okay, yeah. Super important for any room.
Yes.
Wow, you guys have a nice selection.
Yeah, we've got all of our swatches.
Yeah.
And you can turn any of these fabrics into a pillow.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay, so here's sort of the greens and blues.
Okay.
This is our curtain fabric. What are you thinking? What's jumping out at you?
I love this. I think that's really sweet. I think this would be a really nice pillow to go on the sofa. And I always like to layer pillows. I kind of like either do 3 or 4.
Okay.
So I would do probably 2 of these.
All right, because this has that blue and this green. So it kind of
pulls it in.
Ties it all together. Smart.
And then I would probably do something like this, like a pretty stripe.
Okay.
Or even this as another option for a pillow. And then I would also add in a lumbar for her 2 chairs.
Okay.
And I think that we could do a solid, like a really pretty velvet could be nice.
Okay.
Add a little bit of, that kind of richness that velvet, only velvet.
It has such a pretty hand.
It really, really does. It feels beautiful. I love the sheen of it.
It's great.
I love how rich it is.
You need to take a nap.
Yes.
It's like the pillow that you want to lay on.
Yeah, and I'm so tactile. I just love to touch things like that. So I think this could be really pretty.
Okay.
And I think that would just add a lot of visual interest to the space and liven up all of her, neutral colors that she has in there.
Smart. I love that. And that's such an easy formula too. You've got your solid, you've got your big print, and then you've got a stripe.
Yes.
Like, that's something anyone could do.
And if you don't have a stripe, you could also do just a small pattern. You want big pattern and small patterns. They play nicely together. This
is like a little bit more subdued than your client's house that we toured. What makes you want to kind of go for it in some spaces and be a little bit more restrained in others?
Well, I think the client dictates that, and certainly Brandy was saying that she was feeling nervous, a little trepidatious about bringing color in. So this is a great way to start. And then as she becomes more comfortable with color in her home, then she could really punch things up with a lot of color and a lot of pattern.
Okay. I love this, the starting point for Brandy. I think this would look so pretty in her space.
I can't wait to see it all come together.
Maybe we should take our fabrics and take them back over to our space, and then we can really look at them.
Okay, I'm gonna grab these too.
Okay.
I like these as well.
Okay. All right. So I've got this big rug sample.
Great.
So we can test it out.
Perfect. It's important to have all the elements together.
Okay.
Okay, let's lay that out first. I love how this grounds the space in a neutral tone, but I love that it has a little bit of pattern.
And it's warm.
Yes, feels nice. Is this wool?
It is wool.
Yeah, that's great. And then we'd have this that we're either gonna have on our ceiling and our walls or just the walls.
Okay.
And then we have this as the drape, which I think is really nice, and it's light. It's got that pretty embroidery. And then we were gonna use, I think, this fabric as one of the pillows on the sofa. And I think that plays nicely with, I don't know, I think this is kind of my favorite actually with that. It's a little punchier.
Okay. And then you got your solid.
Yeah, the lumbar for her chairs. This is a really nice palette for someone who is a little fearful of color. It's a great way to introduce color to your space. The colors are really soothing. They're colors that are found in nature, which I think always feels really nice.
And
really
classic.
Yeah, for sure.
Very timeless.
I don't think you tire of this very easily.
No, I agree. And with her white sofa and her 2 white chairs, this is just gonna look seamless. I love this.
Me too.
So I cannot wait to see it in Brandy's space.
Me too.
Okay, you said you had a hot mess of a process, but this was not a hot mess. This makes total sense to me, and thank you so much for being here with me today, Michelle. I have learned so much and really enjoyed seeing your client's home and seeing all of your talent and really see this special spaces you put together. And I can really use these lessons in my own home. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
I would love to chat design with you anytime.
Yeah, call me.
Okay.